In this lesson, we're going to learn about Python collections. Python collections are a way to organize your data. In this particular lesson, we're going to focus on lists. Lists are sometimes known as arrays. There are 4 collection data types that can arrange data in arrays. The first one, called lists, that I just mentioned. Lists are ordered and changeable. They allow duplicates. Tuples, which are similar to lists, are ordered but not changeable, but tuples also allow duplicate members. Sets, the most generic type, are unordered and unindexed, and they do not allow duplicate members. Dictionaries are unordered, they are changeable, and they are also indexed. In dictionaries, you can have no duplicate members. Some example arrays this is a comparison of lists and tuples. Lists are a set of elements, such as, in this case, string elements, cat, window, and sunshine, enclosed within square brackets. A tuple is a set of elements, in this case also the same 3 string arrays, cat, window, and sunshine, also enclosed this time in parentheses. Remember, lists are an ordered collection of 0 to an infinite, not quite infinite, number of elements. They are written, separated by commas and enclosed in square brackets. Here's a list of these 3 strings, blue, brown, and orange. If you have no elements, you have an empty list, and you simply show it as brackets. Lists are changeable. Create a list, you simply give it a name, for example, scores. You set it equal to, brackets, some elements. Here's a list of 4 integers. To access elements in a list, elements are indexed. Index counting starts at 0. Think of the lesson on slicing. We start with 0. So the element in scores at the 0 index position is 95. The element at the first index position is 83. Index 2 is 89. Index 3 is 91. If we want to access that first element, we would say scores 0, in which case we get back 95. To access the third element, which is 89, we would look for scores 2. Okay? So we should get 89. To get the first 2 elements, we could use this notation, scores :2, and we would get back 95, 83. To get all elements, we would use the name of the list, which in this case is scores, and we would get back all of the elements. At this time, pause the video, open idle, type in scores equal 95, 83, 89, 91, and try to print scores and then print scores 2. When you're done, come back and continue the video. Here are some methods you can use on lists. The append method will add an element to the end of the list. The insert method will insert an item at the ith position. Remember, I is the index of the list. The pop method will remove the last item in a list. Or if you use the pop method with an index value, it would remove the ith position in that list. So if you wanted the third index back here in scores, if you wanted to remove 89, the third element is in index 2, you would pop 2. So it would be scores dot pop 2. To sort a list, you can use the list name dot sort. To reverse sort the list, you could say the list name dot reverse. To delete an element of a list, use the element's index position and put that in brackets next to the list name with the command del. To find the index of the first occurrence of an element of a list, if it does indeed occur in the list, you would say the list name dot index and put the item you're looking for. If you want to know how many items exist in that list, for example, how many 89s exist in the scores list, you would just say the list name dot count and put the item that you're looking for. Finally, to remove a list, use the list name dot remove. Let's practice. If we want to update this list, scores, that has 4 elements in it, we could start by entering scores equal bracket 95, 83, 89, 91. To add 94 to the end of this list, we could append it by saying scores.append 94. It would put 94 in the last spot of the list. To insert 82 between 95 and 83, we'd want 82 to come here. We want 82 to be in index 1. So we would say insert into index 1 the number 82. And now our list has just grown. The rest of the elements have moved down, so now 94 is in index 5. To reverse the elements, we would say scores.reverse. So it would put them in reverse order. So now the list would look like this. We reverse them. So now pause the video and try it yourself. Type scores equal 95, 83, 89, 91, and try each of these commands. When you're done, restart the video. Here are a few other functions you can use with lists. To get the number of elements in the list, you can use the length command. It gives you the length or the number of elements. To get the largest element, you could use the max command. The smallest element, you would use the min command. If you have a tuple and you want to turn it into a list, you could simply say list and put the tuple name inside parentheses. Here are some other statements to try. Pause the video now, try these in idle, and then restart when you're done.
Did I ever tell you that Mrs. McCabe had 23 sons and she named them all Dave? Well, she did, and that wasn't a smart thing to do. You see, when she wants one and calls out, "Yoo-hoo! Come into the house, Dave!" she doesn't get one. All 23 Daves of hers come on the run. This makes things quite difficult at the McCabe's, as you can imagine, with so many Daves, and often she wishes that, when they were born, she had named one of them Bodkin Van Horn, and one of them Who's Foos, and one of them Snim, and one of them Hot Shot, and one Sunny Jim, and one of them Shadrach, and one of them Blinky, and one of them Stuffy, and one of them Stinky. Another one Putt-Putt, another one Moonface, another one Marvin O'Gravel Balloonface, and one of them Ziggy, and one Soggy Muff, one Buffalo Bill, and one Biffalo Buff, and one of them Sneepy, and one Weepy Wee, and one Paris Garters, and one Harris Tweed, and one of them Sir Michael Carmichael Zutt, and one of them Oliver Bolivar Butt, and one of them Zanzibar Buck McFate. But she didn't do it. And now, it's too late.
Well, if we had to assign variable names to every kid that Mrs. McCabe birthed, we would have to have 23 different videos. So for example, we'd have to have Dave 0, and we'd set him equal to the first name, which was Bodkin Van Horn. Oops, let's change that to a lowercase. Dave 1, that equal to Hoos, Hoos. And Dave 2, set that equal to Who's Foos with Snim. And Dave 3, set that equal to Hotshot. Well, you get the idea. We would have too many variables. So instead, we could create a list. We could start by calling it Dave's. We can create an empty list, and then we could add elements to the list by appending them. We can append Van Horn, Who's Foos, Hotshot, etc. So now when I call Dave's, I get all of the children. But if I only want the third child, I would index 2 and get Snim. Now I want you to pause the video and download the inventory, Heroes Inventory Program 3. So Heroes Inventory 3. Double click to play the game and then open it in idle. So the first thing this program does with lists is it creates a list called inventory. It has 4 elements: sword, armor, shield, and healing potion. To print the elements, it uses a for loop. For item in inventory, print item. So it will iterate through sword, armor, shield, and healing potion and print those values. If you want to check if an element is in a list, you would say if healing potion in this case is in inventory. So if healing potion in inventory, is that true or false? Well, healing potion is right here. It is in the inventory list, so the result is true. If it's true, then print you will live to fight another day. And it does indeed print that. To print a particular item, you can print the list name with an index number to print that item. To print a set of items, you can use slicing. So in this case, it asks for the beginning and the ending inventory number, and it prints those elements in the inventory list. You can also add or concatenate 2 lists together. So if you had the list inventory and you wanted to add the chest list, which has gold and gems in it, you could use the += command with inventory, and inventory will now grow to also add gold and gems. You can also change an item. So inventory 0, if we look back, inventory 0 was sword. If we want to change sword to crossbow, you would simply say inventory 0 = crossbow. Now when you print inventory, it should have crossbow there. You can also update multiple elements at once. You could change elements 4 through 6 to orb of future telling. You can also delete an item from a list by using the del command. In this case, we're going to delete the index 2 item of inventory, which would be the third item. You can delete multiple elements by using a slicing command. To practice using lists, go to Unit 3, Programs 4. So, why did I show you that video?